Good morning, friends. My name is Shyam Sharma, and welcome to my talk show. Today, we are going to introduce you to a very special guest. His name is Mr. Sumit Tiwari, and he represents his company called Timus Concepts Private Limited. So, what does Timus do? Timus is basically a in-house manufacturing unit for luggage solutions. So any luggage from big 86 86 centimeter to 120 centimeter to whatever the size of the luggage is, they manufacture it, and they manufacture it with the latest designs available. So let me introduce Mr. Sumit. Um, Let me introduce him to our talk show where we'll be discussing different avenues of manufacturing in India. So we might have some few seconds to spare, and he may come live on Facebook channel anytime, any moment now. Let me invite him. Okay. So I can see there are three viewers who are live. Could you comment, and I would really love to welcome you all. Wow. So we have our guest online. Sumit sir, I am inviting you to join the video. Yes, I can see you. Yes, I can see you, but for some reason, is your phone on some kind of privacy setting? Because I cannot seem to be able to invite you. Request to be in your broadcast. Yes, yes. Now you're live. Yes. Okay. It's taking some time, I guess. It will take some time. So let me introduce all you guys. So let me welcome all you guys to our talk show, Shyam Sharma Talk Show, where we're going to discuss about the present situation and future of Indian manufacturing industry, Indian manufacturing family. Now, what I want to really appreciate about you is thank you for coming online. Thank you for joining. Hi, Mr. Nakul Kumar Jain. Hi, Mr. Rahul Sharma. Welcome to our talk show. We welcome you from our open heart. And Mr. Sumit Tiwari is here as well. Hi, Mr. Sumit. How are you?
Hi, Shyam. Very good evening to you, and thank you for having me here.
Sir, you're most welcome. You're most welcome. And we are just delighted to have you on our show. So we couldn't be happier that you are on our show now. We had 10-15 seconds that we got connected, and we're so happy that you're here. Welcome on board, sir.
Thank you. It's my pleasure, Shyam. Thank you so much.
Most welcome. So, guys, let me introduce Mr. Sumit Tiwari. As I mentioned at the start of this video, Mr. Sumit Tiwari is not only a friend, he's also a mentor. He's also a very humble human being. I know him from last two, two odd years, and since we met first time, it was a very funny moment because our mutual friends were friends with Sumit sir, and I first time, and he was at the center of attention of this event where he was the biggest sponsor. And I went there to say hello to Mr. Sumit, and just out of his humble nature, he said, "Oh yeah, hello," and and that was about it. But we became such good friends since then. We've visited Mr. Sumit many times. Hi, Brett. How are you? Hi, Mr. Tomoya Suzuki. How are you? And yeah, we became friends, and I just love spending time with Mr. Sumit at his Nasik unit. So Nasik is a place where he holds his manufacturing unit and his office. His company's name is Timus Concept Private Limited, and they are the pioneers in luggage manufacturing solutions. So his journey started from, component making till now he's making any design that you can virtually think of, they make it. So thank you so much for coming, Sumit sir. You can welcome our crowd now.
Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for having me here and being there to listen to us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sumit Tiwari. We have about 18 live viewers. We have viewers from India. We have viewers from Australia. My very good friend, Mr. Brett, Mr. Geoffrey. Geoffrey, I miss working with you. Mr. Brett, I miss doing footy sessions with you. Hi, Sheetal Agarwal. Welcome. So yeah, Mr. Sumit, I still remember that day. It was pre-COVID that we were discussing that I want to come to Nasik and visit to your factory and your warehouse and your office again. But all of a sudden, this thing hit us, and we are in a situation where we don't know where we stand, or most of us don't know where we stand. And what do you see the situation as? Do you see the situation as a challenge, or do you see the situation as an opportunity, or do you see the situation as a mixture of all of it?
I guess it's no doubt the situation is very challenging, not only for us but for the authorities also, for the governments of all the countries. Whole world is today stuck under lockdown in their respective homes. So it is definitely a challenging situation for all of us. But the tough in us should come be out now, and it's it's
Yeah,
it's how we make this challenging situation into an opportunities to venture into in times to come, whether you're an employer, whether you're an employee, or what value addition you have done in last 45, 60 odd days is going to define next decade or so. So
yeah,
it's definitely it's the lot of people I know, they have converted this challenge into an opportunity. They've gone back, they've brainstormed with themselves, they've read books, they've improved their skills, they've added a lot of value in their own life. A lot of value addition has happened. So it's this what has happened last 50, 60 days in a person is going to
yeah,
define his life for next few years to come. I'm sure all of us will come out more strong uh, after the COVID. So yeah, it's mix of both the things. Definitely, there has been challenges and difficulties, but these challenges and difficulties has helped us to think out of the box and try and come out with opportunities. This is how I look
yeah.
at. This is how my team members look at Timus, and at Timus we are more than prepared to face the markets very soon.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Um, so we have comments from Mr. Nilesh Jain. He's saying hi, Sumit.
Hi, Nilesh.
And we have my dear friend Mr. Jeffrey Kamau. He's saying miss working with you too, Sham. Thank you so much. And Mahima Sharma, Miss Mahima Sharma ma'am is saying hello, Mr. Sumit and Mr. Sham.
Hi,
Cool.
Mahima. Very good evening to you.
Cool, cool. Thank you, sir. So, yeah, I seem to wonder all the time, like, this is a time where we have to be optimistic. Yes, we have to turn um, challenging situation into opportunities. Yes, and there are so many opportunities available out there. But kindly explain to me about your thoughts of being of be Indian by Indian. Why is that? Why is that necessary, or why is that important?
In fact, this is the right time when we Indians should come together and support all the Indian manufacturers. It will help all of us, whether we are working in an organization or we are running a companies of different scales and sizes. This will help the GDP also by pumping in money. This will, when we go to the shops, instead of just asking for the quality of the product and the price of the product, we should also look at made in India products. Moment you look at made in India products, you try and create, or you can say you contribute to create demand in the market. Moment there's a demand in the market for Indian products, Indian manufacturers benefit from this. Moment Indian manufacturers benefit from this, there's an employment created in the market. Look, India itself is more than 130 crore population country, and we ourselves are a huge marketplace for our own products. And this will only help us to keep the money in India by buying products in India, buying products made by Indians. So this will definitely help. And if not now, I don't think so. There would be any other right time in future wherein we'll be, emotionally connected to Indianness so much the way we
Yeah.
are connected at this point of time. So it's the emotions which will drive us to buy Indian products. This is exactly the right time. The next 3 months, 6 months, 6 years, and next 6 decades, where we need to uplift Indian manufacturers by supporting them by buying their products in the market.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Mr. Sumit. Um, so, for our viewers from Australia, from Japan, and from around the world, I would like to say the same for your respective country. I have lived for more than 10 years in Australia, so I have emotions connected to Australia as well. So, yeah, this rule, this I shouldn't call this a rule, but this is a common sense. This is logic. This should be attached to your respective countries. Um, so yeah, I completely agree with you, Mr. Sumit. And where I see Indian products, especially Timus or any Indian manufacturer who's so dedicated to their craft, is I cannot think of anything else apart from supporting them and supporting them unconditionally. So I completely agree with you on that fact. And this time is obviously a challenging time, but regardless of that, it has given us an opportunity where we could do this face to face, virtually. We planned this to do face to face physically, but we got caught. But I'm glad that this. Sorry.
I would say happily caught.
Happily caught. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So we have few viewers who are coming in good numbers. So, oh, my dear friend Ravinder, Mrs. Ravinder Sani is watching us from Australia, all the way from Australia. Ekta Agarwal ma'am is saying, "Well said, Sumit."
Thank
And
you.
we have our yeah, we have your big admirer, Mr. Paresh Chitnis, and he's saying awesome thought. Thanks, Mr. Paresh. And Rakesh Kumar Jangid is watching us. Edna Fernandez, she's an image consultant, is watching us. Paresh Chitnis sir is also saying, awesome. Buy Indian, buy timers. Absolutely, Paresh sir. And Edna ma'am is saying, hi, Shyam and Sumit. Hi, Edna ma'am. Yeah, cool. So, my second question to you is, Mr. Sumit, why did you choose to get into luggage industry, which is related to manufacturing of it? Why?
In fact, I've been very fortunate to have mentors and friends like Ekta and Paresh. Throughout my life, when I was growing, whether I was in school or junior college, or during my engineering studies, or during my B school days in MBA, when I was doing a course in MBA in SPJ. So I always had people like Ekta and Paresh supporting me all the way through. And I always looked at my dad, and I always admired him, and he is one of my top heroes. I secretly admire him. I love the way he had worked throughout his life, and I always wanted to be like my father, who has been an inspirational figure for me. And I always used to see him working hard for the global giants, making delivering components for them. And I always thought I should make a complete luggage, and a company as big as the company we've been contract manufacturing for. And one day, probably my turnover should be a little more than that. That was my thought process when I was growing. I was a small kid as a teen during my teenage, and that inspired me to think of time. The time is think of luggage, breathe luggage, sleep luggage, Whatever I done during my college days to my B schooling days, my project thesis to everything was something or the other related to luggage. And I live the brand. I live what I do at the factory with my team members. So the inspiration comes from my father. So I owe this journey to him. He has inspired me to take this journey, and I am so loving this journey traveling.
Wow, wow. So how did it all begin? Like where did it start and how did you became a totally manufacturing company from just I shouldn't say just, but you know what I mean. From making components for parts for bigger giants. How did you decide to jump into becoming a full-fledged manufacturing company?
Actually, my dad started this factory in 1985, where we were making components for the Asia number one, world number one, and we were very happy with what we were doing at that point of time. During my third year of engineering, I had given my GRE and TOEFL, and I thought I'll go and do my masters and work in US for 2 3 years and come back. But the matter of the fact was, in fact, Germany was my first preferred option because I also had done 240 units at Max Fuller Bhavan as German as my foreign language. So around in vacation time, I was in Nashik for a couple of months' time, and I used to go to the factory, and that's the time. A lot of things happened. That's a separate story altogether, and I stayed in Nashik. And 6 months down the line in Nashik, I realized by then I had decided I will not go to US or Germany to do my MS. I will stay here and I'll do something worthwhile. And that's how I joined my dad in way back 14 years back in 2006. And 6 months, 8 months into joining him, I realized I knew I need to make a complete product to satisfy myself. Cannot be making small part of the entire luggage and supplying day and night. There was no creativity at all. I felt everything what I was doing was
Yeah,
very mechanical, right? So I wanted to be a part of creative team, make complete luggage. So I started thinking, and then I requested my dad, and I borrowed some money from him. He always helped me and believed in my ideas. And I was venturing into luggage. By 2010, Timus was formed on papers. We formed the company. But until 2014, we did not actually aggressively work for Timus. We were manufacturing for other brands, other global
yeah.
giants. And it was between 2006 and 2014 I could give shape to my dreams, what Timus is today. So that's how Timus started in a nutshell.
Wow, wow. So you were already catering to the giants of luggage industry, and you were giving them the best products that they make the luggage out of. So yeah, the idea where you needed to say, okay, we need to do it for ourselves and make it a brand itself. That's an amazing story.
Yeah,
That's an amazing story, Mr.
we wanted to go one step ahead. It was a way forward, and I was a kind of a guy. In fact, I'm still a kind of a guy. I will live a minimalistic approach. I practice minimalism in life. So it's not that I wanted to, have huge bank balances. And in fact, I did one course, live the life you love, and I did a deadbed exercise. So the day I die, I'll be lying on on the floor, and my body would be there. So this exercise I had done in way back in 2012, 13. So around my dead body, there'll be a lot of people around. That my friends will be there, my suppliers will be there, my customers will be there, my ex-girlfriends will be there. There is so many
Yeah,
people around there, right? My parents will be there. What are things which I
yeah,
want to hear from them at that point of time? So this life's journey is towards that. Day I die, I'm lying on the dead bird, lying on the floor, my body, what my body wants to hear from all these people at that point of
yeah,
time. This entire journey is towards that, and this is how I thought. I don't want to die rich. How does it matter when you have 1 CR lying in the bank account or 100 CR lying in the bank account? It's a journey what I feel I will cherish much more than the money. Hence, I thought whatever I have, or rather whatever I don't have, I should give everything to the company. I should give to the Timeless and build Timeless. That's more important. What better, satisfaction than knowing that you are employing 300 people today, you're going to employ another 1,000 people by 2022, And these are the people who are going to drive the company, not me. I'm just one of the catalysts at this point of time. So this
Yeah.
became the driving factor, driving force. That one exercise changed my entire thought process, and I still continue to live in that world where the day I die, these are the people who are going to be around me. What are things they want to talk about me? I want to hear that. To hear that, I need to work on my actions so that I achieve that thing on that particular day.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So I think you've given half of the answer for my third question, which was uh, what is so exciting about your business? What keeps you going? What wakes you up every day about this business?
In fact, at times everything excites me. By nature I'm a people's person. I love to meet people. I love to learn from different people. I learn from my security guard at the factory. I learn from my managers. Learn from my operators. I love from my senior colleagues in my office. I keep learning from everyone on the streets. And timers gives an opportunity for me to meet different people, know them, know their diversified cultures, backgrounds from where they come from, travel the world, and everything I do at Timus really helps me to live as if I'm living on a holiday. So
Yeah.
every small things I do at Timus cumulatively helps me to be happy all the time. So there's nothing that I don't do at Timus and I don't enjoy and I'm happy about it.
Yeah, amazing. That's amazing, sir. So we have Kavleen Makar, ma'am. She's saying every evolution brings a crisis, and every crisis. Oh, hang on. Every crisis brings a revolution. Let's support each other to bring about this new revolution and embrace world-class Indian products. Timus is surely on my top list. Amazing words, Kavleen, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Kavin ma'am, for always being there and supporting Timeless. She's one of the strong supporters for Timeless. Whenever we are in problem or we need some help, Kavin ma'am has always been there with my team and with my company. She also does a great work and amazing person she is. I'm blessed to have these people in my life, Sham.
Yeah, sir. I couldn't agree more, sir. I couldn't agree more. We have Apeksha. I apologize if I'm saying it wrong. Apeksha Panfair, or she's saying, "Hello, Sumit and Shyam. Great going." Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Apeksha.
We have Vivek Kumar watching us. Aditya Dubey is saying, "Well done, Shyam and Sumit." Thank you so much, Aditya. Dwarka Tiwari, be Indian, buy Indian. Yes, absolutely.
He's my dad. Huh? My dad is also watching this.
Oh, Mr. Dwarka. Oh, wow. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Hello, Mr. Dwarka.
In fact,
Miss, yeah,
he's watching this. My dad was very good in mathematics and science, and I always admired him and copied him. I wanted to
yeah,
be good in mathematics and science because my father was good in mathematics and science. I wanted to be a good entrepreneur because I saw a very good entrepreneurial skills in my father himself. So he remains motivation and inspiration for me for my rest of life, for today, tomorrow, and for years to come.
absolutely, sir. Absolutely. My story is totally opposite. Uh, but let's not go there. uh, Mr. Chetan Ram Chevrolet is saying super Sumit with thumbs up, and
Thank you.
Mr. Raja Paladugu. Oh, Mr. Raja Paladugu is watching us. We're blessed. Ekta Agarwal ma'am is saying superb. Chevrolet sir is saying great, and uh, yeah, Sachin Lula, Mr. Sachin Lula from all the way from Pune is watching us as well. Hi, Mr. Sachin. And Mr. Mahendra Mishra is saying, "Hi, Sumit. Well done, bro. Amazing. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for supporting us. Thank you so much for watching us. Thank you so much for giving your precious time." So, sir, moving on. Um, Kindly tell me, as a manufacturer of India, what advice would you like to give to manufacturers who might be going through challenging times? But what advice would you like to give them in terms of cost control, expenses minimization, and increasing productivity? during or after this pandemic time?
In fact, I would rather start from this. We are not the first one. We are not the first generation which is talking about be Indian and buy Indian. In the year 1876, Swami Dayanand Saraswati, he came up with Swaraj movement. He gave
Yeah.
us the platform when he spoke about be Indian, buy Indian. The Swaraj concept came from him in 1876. So, so around that time, so it's been hundreds of years plus, more than that, people are talking about buy Swadeshi products. Now the time has come when we actually need to be buying Indian products, made in India products, right? As manufacturers, we need to be very careful about what we're doing at the factories. We should be cost efficient. We should produce good quality products. And how we can do
Yeah.
all these things? By improving our own efficiencies at the factories, by improving, by bringing in the better technologies at the factory, by probably adapting to the best of lean manufacturing techniques from Japan, from other parts of the world, right?
Hmm.
No
Yeah.
customer is going to get extra money, but yes, we can control our overheads, we can control our wastages, we can be a foolproof 5S Kaizen Poka factory and deliver the best of products. So as Indian manufacturers, we need to be very open about learning new things. Quickly, we need to unlearn things so that we can learn new things, right? And we should be mentally prepared to keep learning, relearning these things over a period of time so that when we are at the factory, our products are more polished each time, every time they go onto the floor. So it becomes our moral responsibility to keep learning technology and as Indian manufacturers, keep giving the best of products to our Indian audience who are supporting us, who have started believing in us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, in terms of your thoughts of adapting, unlearning. Sorry, I would say unlearning. How is it so significant? Like I understand what your thoughts are, but how can we portray this message to our viewers in a much simpler way?
Uh, See, if I'm open to learning, that also means that I'm open to unlearning. Right? Learning means unlearning first. If I'm not going to unlearn things, how I'm going to give away bad practices? Let's stick to manufacturing because
Yeah,
that's the topic of this evening. If I'm not going
yeah,
to give up my bad ways of manufacturing products, if I'm not going to give my inefficient ways of laying out the the processes at the factory, how I'm going to learn new things, how I'm going to adapt to the new technologies to make my process more systematic, more smoother, more leaner, and wherein they'll produce a better products, right? So I need to unlearn a lot of things what we have done. The entire generation has to learn. Like if you go back in 1970s and 1980s, whatever the machines were dumped in Europe, they were brought to India, and these were the machines which were made to produce goods for us entire textile industry for that matter. The second-hand machines of Europe became the new machines for India. That's how Indian businesses started in 1970s and 1980s, right?
yeah,
So where is the
yeah.
technology coming in? But today we need to be one step ahead from the rest of the world, unlearn whatever we've learned in last 40, 50 years in terms of bad habits in manufacturing, learn new things from our mentors, maybe like Japan and what China are doing in terms of influxing the technology into the system.
Yeah,
That's how I put it because our topic of conversation is be Indian to buy Indian, right? So
yeah,
we need to learn a lot of things, a lot of things. We should learn from our elder generation also. At the same time, we should see what's happening at this point of time at the local level in different countries, what technology they are bringing in.
yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. Completely agree with you, sir. Yeah, when you talk, when you were talking about Swaraj, I know during that time, British, what they did were they completed they completely burned our textile industry, and they brought in English clothing in India, and we had no other option than buying in English clothes. But if we were aware, if we were to take actions. We would have boycotted then and there, but it took quite a long time for someone like Mr. Gandhi to come into the picture. And for them to say that you need to buy Indian. We're very lucky that we're living in this kind of era where we are that kind of person who can make people aware that Mr. Sumit Tiwari is making these nice bags. Why don't we just get that stuff in our wardrobes? And yeah, so I completely agree with your suggestion. So, but when you are in this industry, and we are always talking about challenging time, there's always an opportunity. So, what kind of opportunities do you think that will be emerging, that will people be adapting to? What are um, those businesses or those industries that might be emerging in this time,
Now
according to you?
you want to say the post-COVID scenario?
Yeah, post COVID scenario or during COVID scenario. Yeah.
So in fact, luckily the younger generation, we guys have seen what COVID has done to us, how it has made us be locked in our houses for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months now. There are some countries, people are locked for the last 100 odd days, 140 days or so. We don't know about
Yeah.
them. But I strongly feel healthcare division is going to do really well in over a period of next 4 to 5 years and maybe next decade also. All the countries, I will not say most of the countries or many countries, I feel all the countries will have substantial budget, some percent of the GDP as part of budget allocation, which will go in healthcare sector to help build infrastructure required to support basic necessities of that particular country. So next
Yeah.
8 to 10 years, health care is going to be the talking point in every household, in every cities, in every states, province, countries, continents, and world is going to talk about healthcare. So that's where that's one place where everybody needs to look into, and one eye would be there always. So I'll put my bet and money on healthcare for next.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Mentioned about we've been in lockdown since last. I've actually lost the count, but, but almost 60 days that we've been in lockdown. Um, and for a travel enthusiast like myself and like yourself, uh, first thing first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna pack our bags once this lockdown opens. Once the situation is safer for us to travel, we're gonna take our bags and start traveling. So I think that might be a good timing for people to sort of go out and shop for their luggage and traveling altogether, I suppose. But yeah, my next question is, do you agree that India looks like becoming a new hotspot for industries, whether they're manufacturing industries or any other industry? But generally speaking, do you think that India is going to become the new hotspot for the world?
In fact, yes, it is going to be definitely yes. In fact, the birth started a couple of years back. A lot of countries in the Southeast Asian part of the world, whether it's India, Bangladesh, Vietnam, Cambodia, a lot of manufacturing sectors were moving and looking toward these countries, to set up their value-adding centers, manufacturing.
Yeah, I think Mr. Sumit just got disconnected. I will add him again, and yeah, we'll start it again. So
Oh yeah, there was some
yeah,
network issue. Can you see me now?
no problems at all, sir. No
So
problems at
yes,
all.
definitely, India is going to be a one manufacturing hub. Also, because India as a domestic market, it's a very big market. Right, around 20-25% of world's population lives in this part of the world. Yeah, and manufacturing is going to be boom. We have good infrastructure coming up. The connectivity
Mr. Sumit
the
is.
smaller cities are getting interconnected. So over a period of last 2-3 years and over a period of next 2-3 years, the way the Indian cities are getting connected, it will only help in move manufacturing industries in India, especially the golden quadrilateral we talk about. It is going to be a hub in times to come. And yes, all the manufacturers, the future entrepreneurs, the current entrepreneurs should be keeping their fingers crossed, acting proactively, and making the most of this opportunity coming in. In fact,
Yeah,
post-COVID time, after this, 3 months down the line, 6 months down the line, you need to be open about new opportunities coming into your way. There'll be a lot of new opportunities coming in your way. And if you know
absolutely.
the competencies what you have and you can capture those opportunities, I don't think so anybody could stop you then.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, sir. I always think that when you can adapt, when you can unlearn and relearn or learn something new and adapt to the new market, I think it's very slim chances that you're going to fail or anyone's gonna face the losses. Yeah, I completely agree with that.
In fact,
So moving on. Yeah, sorry.
relearning part, what you said right now, whatever we have.
Yeah, guys, let me know if you can hear Mr. Sumit Tiwari or not. If you let me know, I can let him know that we can hear or hear him not. Uh, yeah, I think Mr. Sumit just got stuck with his network, I guess. But that's okay. Yeah, that's okay, sir. We are back. We're back. We missed you.
Also for this network issue, yeah. So
That's
this is
okay.
again,
That's okay.
something we need to learn the network issue from this entire experience. So the point I was trying to make was whatever we learn at this point of time, we spoke enough about unlearning, learning, but the same thing what we're going to learn right now, we may have to unlearn this 2-3 years down the line and relearn. So that's how
Yeah,
unlearning, learning, and relearning curve will go on.
absolutely. 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 That's just amazing. Yeah, cool. So moving on to our next question. This is a bit lighter one. So how do you promote your brand in terms of offline or online mediums? What are the activities that you do, and how do you promote your brand?
I strongly believe Timus is a brand built by friends around people who have known the brand right from the scratch. They've always been supporting Timus. Everywhere I go, every platform talking about Timus, Timus' story. So I owe this to the people who support Timus. It's a brand solely built by friends, and I so strongly believe in this. When it comes to promoting the brand on different platforms, we have a strong presence in online network. We are very strong in social platforms. In fact, if you see, I would not like to name any global brands, but all the brands put together and Timeless in last 2 to 3 months, we've been on the top. We are number one in the trending chart. So that's our strong presence on social media, be it Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. We have around 35,000 followers on Facebook, around 12,000 followers on Instagram. Now, to be a product company, to have this kind of followers, it says a lot about what we do and about
Yeah,
what we have done. So
yeah,
it's very it's not that easy for a product company. All the brands put together, we are number one when it comes to social media, and I proudly say this also because a lot of hard work has been put in by my team. I have a very strong, sincere, dedicated team which continuously keeps working. We have a vice president for marketing in place who takes care of all these activities.
yeah,
So we're very strong on the e-commerce front as well as the online promotions. When it comes to offline branding, we have branded almost 150 stores where we have done internal branding. We have come up with the hoardings. We regularly come up with radio ads. Space which we book during movie intervals. So we are doing a small bit to reach people. It's going to take a little more time. It's not easy. It's a lot of tangible efforts still needs to be put in, and we realize that we need to put in more efforts as a company, as a team, over a period of time. But we've been successful in reaching 500 plus dealers today. We'll add another 500 dealers post COVID time. So by 2022, we should be one. We sold across 1,000 outlets in India. And this can happen quickly if all of you all keep supporting the Indian products. Not only Timus, every Indian manufacturer who's manufacturing something or the other in some part of the country, we must support them, right? When you support them, you actually support the workers and the operators, and you don't know how much blessings you get. It's just not about Timus, it's all about all of us. We are in the same boat right now, and all of us, we need equal support from everyone in India today. So yeah, and when we make these people happy, they become a marketing they market for us. So I feel if giving good services also is a part of marketing strategy, which Timeless adopts very efficiently.
Wow. Wow. So, for our viewers, if you missed out or if you don't know Mr. Sumit, he has famous across India, over 500 dealers are selling Timus luggage and bags. And Mr. Sumit aims to double this number by 2022. So hats off to him, and hats off to all the manufacturers, hats off to every single farmer of this country, hats off to all of you guys who are doing such hard work. My heart just goes out for you guys in these challenging times. You're doing so good. I'm so proud of my country people, and yeah, we have a with us. I think it's Joanne Tang. Hi, Joanne. How are you? And we have Ashutosh Sharma is watching us as well. Cool. Welcome, you guys. And so, to moving on to this, what has been your biggest achievement according to you till now?
In terms of running Timeless in the organization,
Yeah, your any of your biggest achievement that you think that is Sumit Tiwari's biggest achievement.
the kind of person I am, the kind of guy I am, I feel every day is the biggest achievement in my life. Right? I go to the factory, I meet my people there, I meet my security guard, I meet my supervisors, the machine operators. They have some challenges or the other at that point of time. Solving, helping them solve their challenges and make them feel they're successful in their way in what they're doing. I feel this adds a lot of value to my day's work, and I feel very happy about it at the end of the day. So all these challenges put together, the small challenges coupled together, when I walk into the next day, next morning, I'm more confident person, I'm more motivated person, I'm more inspired. Feel each day brings a different challenge at times, and solving this walk confidently onto the next day is the biggest success tool what we have achieved in last 6 to 7 years being at Times. So I feel I'm quite happy about these small things in my life which on a daily basis. And this is, I feel everything, all the small things put together is biggest success I have got.
So these are the words from a very humble man, Mr. Sumit Tiwari, and it just brings joy to my eyes and my heart to hear such big words in just simplicity. Like every day is a achievement for Mr. Sumit. Yeah, I completely agree with you, sir. Completely agree with you on that. And so tell me this: what is the biggest dream of Sumit Tiwari? What is your biggest dream?
There are a lot of things in my mind, and which I want to travel. I won't say I want to achieve these dreams. I would travel my process to achieve, move towards closer to the dreams, be it in my personal life, be it my professional life, be it in my interpersonal life, or be it in my. So, but at the end of the day, when you have worked enough, I feel the success is what you get in professional life, or the goals what you achieve, even in personal lives or social life. Everything funneled together when it reaches into a jar, and you feel life very happily and peacefully, and every day you've lived in abundance. What more I can ask for? So living life in abundance itself is the biggest, you know, success, biggest achievement, biggest dream which I want to do. It's not, as I told you earlier, maybe 15-20 minutes back. It's not about the bank balance. It's not about what car you drive. It's not about whom you hang around. It's how happy you are
Yeah,
from inside. It's who are your friends, what you talk, what conduct, what you're having. Are you able to indulge yourself in different conversations? Are you able to meet different people through from different walks of life? I feel this is achievement. I feel this is success. And these things will make me feel more happy and successful than any other materialistic things. Having materialistic thing and achieving them should be a byproduct of whatever we do. We will be a
yeah,
big company. We will make a lot of money. We will make a lot of profits. But that's a byproduct we do. At the end of the day, what matters, cup of coffee somewhere in Goa and a good conversation, I feel that's beautiful.
absolutely.
So life is towards achieving and reaching that point when you're sitting with someone, you're sipping that cup of coffee, and you have indulged into a conversation 5 to 6 hours just talking.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Completely agree with you, sir. There, yeah, would love to have some more coffee. We've had few coffees with you, and would love to have more on more. But it's I have to confess on live Facebook show today that when I come to Nasik, I don't feel like coffee. I mean, I do drink coffee even in Nasik, but I don't feel like drinking coffee because it's wine capital of India. So, yeah, so that was on a lighter note. We have a friend, a viewer from America. He's watching us right now, Mr. Santosh. Hi, Mr. Santosh. We have Devisha Jetakia is watching us as well. Hi, Devisha ma'am. And she's also saying good going. Yeah, thank you so much, Devisha.
Hi, Devisha. Devisha is one of the strong supporters of Timeless. She supports Timeless and activities what we do.
Yeah,
Very recently I met her, but in a very short period of time, she always adds some value to our team, to what we do at Timeless. So thanks to Devisha.
absolutely, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Yeah, she's an amazing person. Um, I don't know whether she remembers me or not, but yeah, I remember her and I admire her work very much. Kavleen ma'am is saying, wow, much power to you. Wishes and prayers for the abundance you are seeking. Thank you so much, Kavleen ma'am.
Thank you, man.
And Mr. Parth J. Dave is watching us, and Priyanka is watching us as well, and she's saying, wow.
Thank you, Priyanka.
And Mr. Atharva Rana, of course, thank you. Cool, cool. So, guys, we are. This is to our viewers now. Ekta Agarwal ma'am is saying, Shyam sir, your visit to Nashik was totally our pleasure. Absolutely, ma'am. And it's not gonna end there. I'm gonna keep coming, and I'm hoping to come very soon. So fingers crossed. And yeah, we're planning something. So fingers crossed. So yeah, this is for our viewers. Viewers, it's time for you to ask questions to. You can ask him questions regarding today's topic or life in general. So I will open up this platform for you guys to ask questions. And before we move ahead, what I will do is I'll ask Mr. Sumit again a question. So by the time your question comes in, we can enroll that now. Okay, Mr. Sumit. So in your experience of more than 35 years, um, what do you think about people who succeed? How do they succeed? Like, is there an equation? Is there a formula? Is there a key? What is it?
First thing I have to clarify to everyone here, When Shams talks about 35 years of experience, he's not talking about my age. He's talking about cumulative experience what me and my father have, as my dad started this, you know,
Absolutely.
way back in 1985. So it's his experience. I am a newbie in this industry, been here only for 14 odd years, and I'm as young as Sham is. So now coming back to what makes business success, right? That's your question. Yeah.
Yes.
I
Yes.
feel a lot of successful people, if you closely observe them, they will stick to basics. They will stick to fundamentals. I feel this is the biggest challenge for anyone after some time, that you don't stick to your basics and fundamentals. As long as you stick to your basics, as long as you stick, you will always be grounded. And when you're grounded, you exactly know what's happening in your organization, in your at your workplace, in your personal life, everywhere, right? So the whole idea of developing this skill, that you always get back to your basics and keep sharpening your skills, will make you travel towards success in much better way than what you ever did. uh, Learning is, of course, bringing in technology is also, of course, very important. A lot of big things are important. I remembered my teachers in school told me the small things are precious, big are important, right? In our lives, we will run behind big things, which are definitely important things. But things what we do throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, throughout the quarter, throughout the year, which is much more precious. And these small things, when coupled together, will help us reach towards the bigger dreams, the bigger goal, the important goals in our life. But journey has to be from the small goals. You're going to achieve only when you are sticking to your basics and your fundamentals.
Absolutely. So I can relate to what you just tell you a story of greatest batsman who's living right now, in my opinion, at least, Mr. A.B. de Villiers, and he was talking about the same thing, that someone asked him, how do you do so good that you do, and he said exactly the same thing. Absolute basic he sticks to absolute basic throughout, and when he goes out in the field on the judgment day, he just unleashes, and I couldn't agree more with you, because yeah. So yeah, moving on, Mr. Sumit, what is Mr. Sumit's apart from work? So work is your baby, I understand that, but apart from work, what do you love to do?
I love to meet people. I love to get into different conversations. More of a guy who like to meet people, make new friends, talk to them on different topics, understand them, understand from where they come, learn from them, spend time with them, maybe go out for a drive with friends, talk over a drive, brainstorm over a cup of coffee, or go for a small walk. So me being around people makes me feel really happy at the end of the day. That's what I crave for: good conversation and good people. So because I get to learn, I mean, I'm being a little selfish here, but then I get to learn a
Yeah,
lot of from everyone I hang around with. I keep learning from you. I keep learning from so many people in my life. For me, given an option, like, I would really want to spend time with fantastic people around and get into a conversation with them. That's my way of life.
absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely, sir. So, Mr. Nakul Kumar Jain is saying Sumit life in general in Nasik.
So Nakul is a very dear friend of mine. Hi Nakul, and Nakul has always been there supporting what Timus has done over a period of last 12 plus years. Nakul is one of the guys I always look up to. He himself is a great achiever. He runs Khanvel Resorts very successfully, and since the time he's joined Khanvel Resorts, he brought around a lot of changes in his own company. So a lot of contribution Nakul has made to Timus in many ways. As I told you earlier, Timus is a brand which is built by friends. I'm the catalyst
Yes,
who learn from everyone, who learns from everyone, and comes here, shares the ideas, and takes Timus forward. So thanks Nakul for joining in. Um, yeah, life in Nasik is like life in any other city. All of us we are living in lockdown. Nakul.
Got it, got it. So where does Mr. Nakul live?
He stays very close to your place. He's from Mumbai.
Okay, okay, cool, cool, great. So, okay, tell me one thing. You're a great travel enthusiast, and you love traveling. So, tell me, what's your dream destination? One dream destination that Sumit Tiwari has.
I don't have one single dream destination. I feel every destination has its own charm and every destination has its own warmth to offer. As long as we, as human beings, are ready to know what charm that place is offering to us, do we have in us to fall in love with that place? Right? Every place is lovable. So I would like to travel to as many places as possible and fall in love with every place I'll be going to. So it's not one place; it's every place I travel. It's going to make me fall in
I,
love with.
I agree. I completely agree with you, sir. But you have to give one name for right now for this task.
It's a task,
You
but
have
I
to.
would like to go backpacking. It's been like on my mind since last 8 to 10 years. I have never done a solo traveling. I have never done backpacking. So maybe I would like to be a backpacker and travel whole of eastern part of Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Mizoram, Manipur. So that's on my mind. So the Six Sisters and Sikkim and West Bengal that I want to explore traveling as a solo traveler.
So, sir, you have a you know, who would like to do the backpacking with you. So you have a company.
Yeah,
You're not gonna.
I don't think so. In fact, I said solo traveling. So when I go to eastern part of the world, I make sure my friend goes to the western part.
Absolutely, absolutely. I heard it very. I was going to be the shadow. I'm not gonna be seen. You know. So yeah, completely agree. Cool. So, what is the definition of success according to Mr. Sumit Tiwari?
Uh, Very complicated, very easy at the same time. In fact, I feel this is valid for all of us, right? Personally, I feel everybody's life is divided into four parts. Everybody has their own personal life. All of us we have
Yes.
all of us we have a social life, right? And
Yes.
most important, after personal, professional, and social life, we have our own interpersonal life, right?
Yes.
So success in
Yes.
these four different spheres of life is different. It is very important that you have a goal in these life for these lives, and then steps to achieve these goals, and how you're going to implement the plan what you made to achieve these goals. When you achieve these goals, you feel successful, and when you feel successful, you feel you've achieved what you want to achieve in life. So these goals in your life, it may be like in the personal life you have set a target to be a yoga master, or you want to do yoga for 2 hours every day, or professionally you want to build up an organization which is a worth 1,000 crore company, or
Yeah.
interpersonally you have set a goal for yourself that you want to write a book for yourself. I mean, mind you, it's for
Yeah.
yourself. You may not even go and release the book. Socially,
Yeah.
you want to be the most famous person around. So, what goal you set and what steps you take to achieve these goals will define your success in each sphere of your life.
Amazing, sir. Amazing. So, sir, at the end, I would just love to say this that, I cannot wait to come to Nasik and give you a visit. And I would really, really love to thank you for coming online and giving your valuable time. You were in the middle of doing something and you had spared your time and come and gave us an interview. And I would love to thank every single one of our viewers as well who watched us, who are watching us, and who will be watching our show in future. I would love to thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time, your patience, and your efforts in listening to us, in trying to understand that this is the time, this is the time that we should be supporting each other for whatever we are doing. forgetting that what a person would think or say, or it's we are above that. We are above that now, and we should be thinking of helping each other in any way possible, in any way we can, creating value, creating value to our lives. And thank you so much, Sumit sir, for giving your time today. And we'll continue doing this with or without this situation. We'd love to do this again and again with you, sir.
Thank you so much, Sham, once again for having me here. Thank you so much for considering that Timeless could add value to the audience. Thank you for considering Timeless story is one of the best stories to be spoken about, talked about. Thank you on behalf of 300 people working at Timeless. Thank you to
Absolutely.
have actually thought of Timeless in the way you have thought of Timeless. You're most welcome to Timeless family in Nasik. Your first stop in Nasik has to be Timeless family, and it's the Timeless family which will take you to different places in Nasik, Sham. Thank you to the viewers who have stopped by on busy day. In fact, I feel in lockdown people are much more busy than what would they usually be. So thank you for all of them who have stopped by and seen this. Trust me, each one of you helps me, encourages me, motivates me. Today I'm standing in front of all of y'all. It's only because all of you guys support me in every possible way. Thank you so much,
Absolutely.
everyone. Lots of love to all of y'all.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, sir. I will just finish this by reading some comments that our viewers have said, because that's very important. DJ Monty Wig is saying, superb, Sumit. Thank you so much, sir. Ekta Agarwal, ma'am, is saying, very informative session. Thank you so much, ma'am. Chetna Ram Chevrolet is saying, great interview to attend. Thank you so much, sir. Means a lot. And Ekta Agarwal, ma'am, is again saying, small things are precious, big things are important. My today's take. Amazing, Ekta, ma'am. Amazing. And Sandeep Naik sir is saying, thanks, Sumit.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you
Thank
so much, guys. We'll